come from?
Hello. Hopefully you lot can hear me. It seems that Twitch is throwing its teddy out the cups. So welcome to Heavyweight Gaming. We are a channel that does lots of RPGs. If you've been watching us from, well, probably around March time, great. I hope you've enjoyed the stories thus far. You can hear me. Thank you very much, man. Hello, faces. Yes, I've been called worse, to be fair. Tonight we are playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th Ed. Hello. I am definitely going to say your name wrong, but we'll go with hello. Yeah, D&D5e Ed tonight, and it is our campaign Fables Among Titans, and it is the 30th 3-0 session. Unbelievable. Past the 6-month mark. Ridiculous. I'm loving it. Can't wait to see the next 30 sessions, assuming I can be bothered writing them, but we'll see. So, social media, we're on it. Type in Heavyweight Gaming, you'll find us. If you can't find us, type it in capitals, it'll bring it up. Sponsors, we got Loke battle mats. They are incredible designers of, well, exactly that, battle mats. Flip books, A3, A4, A5. You literally unfold them, boom, you've got a tundra, a forest, a cavern, an arcane circle, all sorts of goodness that you just bang out on your table and your players can dive in and they've got a fight right there. They've just released Taverns and Towns, or Towns and Taverns?
Taverns and Taverns.
Taverns and Taverns. TNT. They've released TNT somewhere along the lines. It's just come out of Kickstarter and it will be early next year, probably January time, where you can buy them, so that is cool. So look out for them. They also do digital versions that if you go into Drive Through RPG, type in Loki Battle Mats and you will find them, and you can use them on things like Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds and other VTTs, so go check them out. We got Coyote Grey, who I've met recently, and I use his chibi tokens on my Roll20 maps, and they're beautiful. They're so cool. I got a bit of a weak spot for chibis, and his little tokens are amazing. And I'm currently in conversation with him to make some Colossus-focused.
It's gravy
chibis.
time.
Sawdust, thank you for the subscription. 8 months, nice, da fluke. So he's currently looking at putting a package together for Colossus-based chibi tokens, which will make my year. I can't wait for that. So that's great looking Batman. Ashana! She's a glass crafter who's currently streaming right now, and we'll raid her at the end of the session. She's unbelievable, amazing. I sent the message today to give me the heads up on importing her glass figurines, her D20 protectors. So hopefully in the next couple of days we'll get that arranged for early next year, and then we can give them away to you lovely geeky people. Who's the other one? Ruffworx Creative. He's a good lad. Go check him out. Facebook loves it. Patreon. We've got a Patreon page. If you throw a couple of dollars, it's in dollars because I set it up as American and not EU, because amazing. You can UK even for pounds. We don't do euros. I'm not the stoned one. Luke is. If you've got a Ruffworx Creative, he's amazing. I didn't do that bit, did I? We've got a Patreon page. Arcane Script. You should have done this, Mel. Arcane Script is an e-magazine or an e-zine, full, absolutely round with the lore of Colossus.
It's gravy time.
Thank you very much, Angeluna, for the subscription. 8 months. Bloody hell. You two must be something together. Go check it out. Colossus. It's called Arcane Script. It's an e-zine. It is absolutely rammed with Colossus lore, subclasses that we've created for 5th Ed, feats, spells, NPCs, all sorts of gravy goodness. So go check that out. Again, got a Patreon, just put Heavyweight Gaming in and you'll find it. We use Syrinscape for our ambient music, so if you can hear it in the background, great. If you can't hear it, please let me know and I'll try and turn it up. If it's stupidly loud, let me know and I'll try and turn it down. 200 bits. If you throw 200 bits at the show, this lot get a re-roll. They can only have 5 at one time. They've got to use it this session because they don't carry over. They can't use them on the Dungeon Master's rolls, and they are not allowed to use them on their death saving throws if they're ever in that situation.
Which is more than we'd like to be.
So many reasons.
Roll a persuasion check and a death saving roll. So, have I missed out? No.
No, I think we actually got it.
nailed
Sawdust
it.
has been doing loads of promo stuff.
There we
I'm
go.
like, oh, there's a shortcut for that now. Cool.
He's trying to word it.
He's on it.
He's done a lot of Sawdust is one of our beautiful mods, and he's done a lot of commands and stuff, so he's probably going to spam you all with commands, so feel free to follow the links or tell him to slow it down.
They're good.
We've got Sean playing Sapphire, Luke playing Kessfeon, Mel playing Ari, Jeannie playing Ruby, I nearly said Ruby playing Jeannie then, and Jade playing Andrea. So that is the crew. Right, let's have some music for the old what do you call it when you recap?
Recap.
There we go.
Got there in the end.
I'm all over tonight. Let's go.
That's worrying.
Da.
Does not bode well for our future.
It's going to be a real interesting session.
There we
guys.
go. So,
Do your best.
hopefully you can hear that. This lovely bunch of coconuts, which I've decided to say every session now, is currently in the town of Lyric in the north of Ravenholm. They went there to confront Abal, the Desert Rose, a vampire companion of Ulrich, the Copper Slayer at the moment. But when they got there, they refused to look around the town or talk to anyone and go straight into the pits of death immediately. There were opportunities to take in a specialised unit of death, undead vampire killers, but they decided no. We've got this. We won't nearly TPK 5 times in one fight. It's totally fine. Luckily, the game is based on dice and they survived. They faced off against a Bala vampire, 3 werebears, Emil, the golden-locked wizard of Ravenholm, who decided to attack everyone basically, and then skip away up the corridor. They survived the fight. They did a bit of just this. They had a look around. They chose not to follow Emil into the corridors and tunnels or whatever complex this is. And they returned with Brashhammer and Owlbearer of the Reapers and Osran to the Beggar and Flagon Tavern that was currently being rented by the Reapers. On returning to the tavern, it seemed that the Reapers were geared just in case. Weapons were getting readied, armour, straps tightened. They said goodbye to Osra. Thank you for the 200 bits, Maybonnets. They said goodbye to Osra, who has returned to the Reapers. And the Reapers have informed the party that they are jumping on a ship known as the Oakham Whale, captained by a dwarven druid called Boulderback, who is going to take them south to the lands of the House of the Forged. The party returned after getting the horn of the Yamar back from the vampire and returning it to Adarnus of the elemental plane of air and being offered a favour that is now banked. They decided to have their long rests, chill out for the night. Moments were shared, conversations were had, and the stars that were not there because Ruby hates it. And your body clocks tell you it is time to sleep. And you sleep through the night. When the morning comes, it is busy. Outside, there is a noise of markets getting readied. And you are all in your rooms awake. 3, 2, 1. Go.
So firstly, Xandria slips out of no.
Climbing out the window of Harry's room.
Not for another 100 episodes.
30 for a kiss on the cheek. Another 30 for a handshake.
Stick around for episode 130.
60 episodes for a handshake, right?
Depends what the handshake is. So what are you doing?
Sapphire is going to meditate first thing in the morning because he didn't get time to last night because he was too tired. So cool. He is going to meditate. He is going to potentially try and talk to his sensei, but he's not necessarily expecting anything back. It's just a case of, I need guidance. I'm really lost. The party I'm with are kind of lost too. I don't really know what's happening. They're great. I'm getting on with them really well, but like I'm drying up on goals for this Echoes thing.
Okay, give me a...
Oh shit.
Give me a wisdom check.
13.
13. You feel the reach out of connection to your sensei, but there is a stoppage. There is something almost squiffing with your energy that you channel, as if it's hemmed in rather than able to spread far across the lands.
Okie dokie. Feeling a little bit disappointed, I will go and see who else is awake, see if there's food downstairs.
It's a sock on Harry's door handle.
No, there is not.
Oh no.
Oh, you say that like Sapphire would understand what that means.
There's also true.
Just open the
Harry,
door.
you lost your sock! But yeah, no, he'll head downstairs and he won't disturb anyone. He'll go downstairs and look for breakfast.
Yeah, I
Ruby's
think.
No, you go.
I think Kessel have done sort of similar. Gone down for breakfast and pull out that map that they got like 15 plus episodes ago, and kind of just be sort of trying to suss out. Okay, so we're up here in Loke, and then kind of like almost like any kind of like loose bits that have kind of been like chilling out around the table. Like, okay, so this leftover bit of stuff, that's where we could go there, we've been here, like, and almost like trying to like plot out kind of where they've been in where they could possibly be heading, and while destroying breakfast.
While you are downstairs, you do notice that there's probably only half the number of Reapers that were in here last night. There's no sign of Owlbearer, there's no sign of Brashhammer, there's no sign of Ozra. Eleanor is still sat behind a wall of recruit-esque Reapers at the far side of the tavern, and Kai, the elven lad that spoke to Orion, is hanging about and just mingling with some of the more senior and recruit Reapers.
Ruby's an early riser, so Ruby will probably have risen at what her body clock shout is telling her should be dawn. Which, does she then get up in time to see the sun set when it should be rising? Sort of like 5 in the morning, kind of.
When you get up in the morning and
Yeah.
you look out the window, the sky. Give me a perception check.
Also, when I'm in the stables.
Ah, yeah. You look out the stable
some
window.
windows.
Yeah. You ignore the massive open door and you look out the window.
Character sheet. That is a 19.
The sky looks, sounds, feels, you can't quite focus, but it does feel more natural. And you do indeed see a sun rising, as if it is the real sky above you. And it is, the sun is rising, but you can sense a gloomy sort of weather ahead. It's not a bright sunshine, beautiful, but you are on the coast, so you do get quite a nice beaming coming across the
Not
waters.
fussed about the weather, just want the sun to be going the right way. Because if it had been the wrong one...
You do notice it's rising in the north. That's,
In the north?
It's not.
There are two suns coming from either side.
Yeah.
They cross in the middle.
And they never
Right.
got to leave Lyric.
And just to check, Colossus is a unisol system.
Yeah, well, whatever you want to call it.
There's one sun, it's doing what it should, it's going in the right direction. The sky appears to be, as far as Ruby's concerned, fixed.
Correct.
Ruby immediately chills out. Ruby got up on a warpath. Ruby now has the wind knocked out of her sails because she was building herself up to do something about this, and now it seems to have fixed itself. So she's mooching around looking for breakfast, really.
When you say mooch around looking for breakfast, are you looking around the stables for breakfast, or are you going back in the tavern to see?
I'm going into the tavern.
Okay. Just
Just
checking.
Find some horse oats.
It's
I'm not going to take their breakfast away. That would be mean.
fair.
Yeah, I'd share it. Oh dear.
You walk in and you see. Go on, Xandria.
No, sorry, I was coughing.
You went, that's all. So you see Kess stewing over a map and Sapphire coming down the stairs to join.
I'll wave good morning. Go and order some food.
Cool, you order your food. Ari and Xandria, what are you actually doing?
Harry will sleep in later because he can leave in a bed, which is awesome. It's not camping, it's great. So he's going to sleep in a bit later, but then again, come down and find food eventually. Probably be a little bit later than 5 AM though, just going to say.
What are you doing, Xandria?
So, because Andrea only actually sleeps
4 hours.
4 hours, after 4 hours of sleep, basically, she gets up and spends quite a considerable amount of time sort of contemplating her new sort of powers and stuff, and sort of practicing furthering her powers. She goes and has a bit of a walk, sort of like in the immediate area around the town, which doesn't like go gallivanting off because that would be dumb. But she's just kind of like, she's very much sort of in her own head, kind of trying to figure out stuff and learn what else she can do with this newfound stuff that she's got. And then she'll get up, she'll return back to the tavern and then basically sit with Kess and have breakfast.
Give me a perception check.
That would be a 17.
As you are contemplating, focusing and realising this power, as you always have when you've reached a certain time in your life and you acknowledge that your gifts are growing, you realise that you are making no sound whatsoever and you are walking as quiet as a whisper.
Good.
And then,
As it should be.
then after a short time, after a short time, the noise of your footsteps return.
Cool.
And you return. So you are all downstairs.
I think at this point, yep.
Area, breakfast day. Kessfeon's got a map on the table. The Reapers sort of acknowledge you as you all walk down. Kai gives a nod just out of strange, or you knew Orion, so I'll just nod. Yeah, there are no locals in there at the moment.
It's probably for the best, I'm going to be honest, otherwise we might end up stabbing them for just being bizarre.
Wow.
Cult.
Yeah. No, not incorrect. So yeah, Cass is just going to be kind of have this kind of map rolled out that we picked up. Funnily enough, the first time that we'd met a certain vampire lady, but trying to sort of plan their kind of next foray.
And he kind of like comes down, has a little look, and just like, you got any ideas?
There's so many places that could be doing with our attention. And he's just gonna kind of sort of lean back and sort of look at it, and it's trying to decide where to even start at this point.
I mean, I know where I'd probably like to go.
And you'll just kind of like gesture down to the map. You're like, have that, my dude.
And just like gestures towards the wall. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff coming through, visions of the war. I'd quite like to see what's actually true.
What sorts of visions?
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah. You haven't, have you, shitbag?
When you forget out of character, you've not actually told anyone. Great.
So you're now kind of getting a bit of a
Oh.
what sort of visions?
And why did you not share with the class?
There was some weird stuff about Elva and demons coming through worse than usual and all sorts of stuff. I don't know whether it was just the Copper Forest playing tricks on me, the Realm of Souls playing tricks on me. I don't know. And I'd quite like to find out. Not necessarily demons, but there's at the wall there's a lot of stuff that just comes through.
Like me. The wall seemed fine 3 weeks ago when I came through, but I've not seen a Realm of Souls on this map. And my geography's not necessarily that great.
Oh no, it's where you go when you die.
Wait. You came through the wall?
Big gate. Guards on it. Wave me through.
The ivory wall?
It was an off-white sort of colour, yeah.
Ah yes, the beige wall.
The eggshell wall.
Magnolia.
Magnolia, the Magnolia wall, yeah.
3 foot high round some guy's garden.
Oh, you're the worst.
Oh, it hurts.
And they just wave you through?
And you were in the realm where you go when you die.
Yes, we died. We got better.
Were you looking well on it?
Yes, we got better.
It was a time.
So any other takers, or are we thinking the ivory wall, or
Good 3 weeks walk.
depending on how you go?
Xandria, you can do that little teleport thing. Can you make it go farther?
No.
Oh.
I wouldn't be able to take you lot with me anyway.
Ah.
Kess, you know exactly where I feel, at least I need to be, but it's a group decision at the end of the day.
Out of character, because Luke is on some pretty hefty painkillers today, can you recount to me where it is that you're wanting to go?
Copper Forest.
Okay, that's where I was thinking at anyway,
Yeah.
to go via, but that's cool. Thank you. Back in
No,
the
I want to
room.
go home. Screw this. Let's
I
just
mean,
go.
same, buddy, but
I've hit level
not
Back
been
to
an
the
option.
deserts.
It's not been an option for 30 episodes. I don't think it's about to start now. Back in the room. The nods, at the nods.
Jesus.
Never in Kess's life has he been sagely. But
You
there's
don't
a
know.
There's a first time for everything, has to be.
I mean, he looks sage, nodding like that at the map. Looks like he knows what he's talking about.
He looks like he needs 20 years of sleep.
So what are you doing?
And a hung.
Ariel kind of look down at it. There are teleportation circles, but it's whether we risk that in this town.
I would rather not spend any more time here than we already have, especially after yesterday evening. I think we've allowed more time than necessarily we should have been, due to essentially this place being bought out ahead of time. But I can't imagine that the death of the Desert Rose will go unnoticed.
Split the difference, walk for a day, then teleport?
I
You
was
don't wanna
going to
teleport in
suggest we head back through the forest. 2 birds and one stone.
Relatively smart idea, actually.
Yeah, because I'd rather stay off the roads with that. Yeah, that's a good point. Because we don't want to be anywhere near this town or the roads or anything. I mean, the Reapers are going on down south, but they're going the opposite way.
It had been my other thought of possibly checking in on the House of the Forged, but I agree with what you're saying. If the Reapers are already going down there, they seem like a capable bunch. Hopefully they'll be able to assist in some way. And the southern nations will hold strong long enough for us to touch base at the wall before we head back down.
Sounds like we have a somewhat plan in place then.
Let's pack up and head back to Ruffworx, I guess.
Hopefully get out of here before anyone kind of notices exactly where we are.
So your plan is to leave town sharpish, yeah?
In town.
Ready when you are.
As you are all collecting your things to leave, one of the young recruits walks away from Eleanor. About, say, early 20s. I say young, but they're younger than what the senior lot look like. They are in chainmail, they've got a thick black long coat and a heavy crossbow on their back and bolts on their thighs. And they walk straight over to Ari. And they give you a diamond, or at least hold their hand out that has a small tear-shaped diamond in it. This is from the Burning Spear. She sends a message with it. It'll keep the rain away. And he offers it to you.
Thank you, that's much appreciated.
And he does a bit of a militaristic, like, puts his feet together and gives a bit of a salute, but nod. He's a little bit unsure of how he's supposed to react to outside the Reapers.
Ari's like, yes, bow to me, Paz.
Yeah.
You may kiss my ring.
Whoa.
Oh, damn it.
Can't take you guys anywhere.
Or if you do, you have to go twice, second time to say sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. Just let you back in.
So, you leave, and you are heading, what, straight south to the forest immediate?
Yep.
Sounds like it, yeah.
As you are leaving Lyric, all give me perception checks, please.
Ooh.
7.
Oh, James.
22.
17.
That is dirty 20.
15.
Cool. So anyone 15 above? Sorry, Ruby. Ruby
No.
walks into the stables and disappears. You
Ruby's playing
notice,
Ditzy Bembo this morning.
as you are leaving, you sort of just glance around just to make sure no one's following or keeping an eye on you or anything. And you notice all the multitude of races and cultural fashion that you saw when you first entered. Immediately around you in the market area, there's none of it. Everyone seems to be dressed akin to Ari in that, can't remember it, over the chest.
Double-breasted.
Double-breasted. There we go. It's only taken 30 sessions. And they've all got that Teutonic sort of feel and fashion about them now as they're walking around the market. What you do notice on the rooftops, amongst all the very ancient architecture, is you swear blind that some of the people you saw before in those various races and fashions are taking position at certain places on the rooftops of the building, and they're remaining very, very still.
I think it's time to possibly keep in close to the sides of the buildings, possibly usher Ruby in as well, and for us all to possibly make a little stealth check.
I would agree.
As we
wholeheartedly.
will hoof it out of town.
Sneak sneaky.
Xandria,
I'm supposed to be good at this.
once a day, also once a long rest, you may roll a stealth check at advantage.
Woohoo!
Nice.
I mean, my stealth's pretty good anyway, but you know, with advantage is nice
Roll
if I need
better.
it.
Hooray.
25.
Jesus.
Also 25.
Yes.
Jesus.
21.
Also 21.
Ruby, it's alright.
Yeah.
It's alright, the average just saved you. You got that
Got
one.
That one.
Oh, James.
Looks nice.
Sweet child. We have
Sweet
much to
child.
teach. Sweet child, much to teach.
Between the five of you, as Ruby is about to, you see her literally walking towards all the glass bottles laid out nicely for her to stamp on. And you all, two of you on one side, two on the other side, just sort of hands under her arms. Oh, we've lost somebody.
Oh, Sean.
We've lost Sapphire.
No.
What is going on?
No idea.
Yeah, apparently there have been some issues with Zoom and Twitch tonight, according to Twitter.
Yeah, I was going to
So-
say. It seems... have we got-
Please hold your
Please
calls
hold while
and
Sean
listen to
comes
us.
back. It's only Swift, three of you. Kess, Ari, and myself, we're all alright. And you can just see Xandria's face on one side and Ruby's on the other.
Yeah.
Hello there.
But yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
You scoop up Ruby and carry her over the glass. And you make no sound as you keep close to the buildings and as you're looking up to see, not you, Ruby, but the rest of you.
Ruby's got no idea what's going on. He was just walking through town,
Ruby's just
Just walking,
surprised she's
and
now a foot tall and she's like, what's going
and
on?
now everybody's grabbed her, and she's just like, "Ooh,
Going up!
So,
what?"
you look up and you see those orcs, elves, humans, tabaxi, lizard folk, all the races you've ever bumped into, read about, and all their fashions akin to them, as these people start to take a seated position at certain points on the buildings, and before your very eyes, as you remain to the shadows, turn to stone.
Don't question it, just
No,
move.
just move.
Just shh.
I love how, yeah, just
Hand,
don't
hand
look
on
up.
Ruby's mouth. Just
And you
Nine,
leave
nine.
the town of
No,
Lyric.
maybe not, because then it's going to look like two Fae are stealing a small human girl. Maybe
True.
that's
Yeah.
not going to go
Maybe
down
not a good
well
idea.
with.
Is
Not
Sean
great
coming back,
publicity right
or yes, we believe so.
We
Sawdust.
hope so. He's,
I'm just waiting for him to reconnect to the call, and I'll let him in.
How kind, how magnanimous of
I'm
you.
gonna guess his computer's probably died because there's no messages anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine there's a little bit of
Technical
screaming.
difficulty.
Yeah, so hang fire while we wait for Sean. So I need to know what I'm doing with the overlay. Because it's currently just sat a squiff.
No, I'm fine.
Just like on Pete's tongue, really, isn't it?
It's all gone Pete tongue, mate. It's all gone Pete fucking tongue. Anyway.
Quick Robbie's character.
He hasn't got anything on to rob him of.
I mean, our bard rogue's been carrying all the gold since day one.
That is true.
Yeah.
Because why did the desert children need gold?
Well, apparently we had tons of it. We didn't realise how blooming typical.
Did we have tons? I mean, I had 10.
No. Apparently we had more than that
Did
this
we?
entire time, but we didn't know.
Did we?
Yeah,
He's just been foraging.
News to me, dear.
it's cool. I spent it all on health potions. We drank it.
Well, makes sense. That makes sense.
Any questions from the chat?
I'm just gonna slowly work my way through my tower of chocolate coins I've been getting out my advent calendar.
Yeah, I suppose while we're waiting for Sean to kind of hop back
Questions.
on, if anyone has any questions about the Fables Among Titans campaign, yeah, lore-wise, or...
I can also throw in that tomorrow at 12 o'clock, which I should have said at the beginning.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
UK Games Expo, the third biggest
Oh, yeah.
hobbyist convention in the world, will be interviewing myself about all things heavyweight gaming. So that is going to be absolutely ridiculous.
Watch this space, boys and girls. Heavy is going to become the next Matt Mercer.
I am not growing the hair.
No, but you can grow the beard.
I'll grow a beard. I see. Teamwork.
You don't want to be the next Matt Mercer, because you don't want anything to happen to Matt Mercer, because he seems like a delightful human being.
He's a very nice chap.
We want you to run parallel.
Run?
Yeah, parallel.
Okay.
Oh.
Internet crashed, computer's unhappy.
Unhappy.
He is on his way back, though. What is this monthly arcane script about? It says someone who definitely does not know the answer.
Fantastic question.
Arcane Script is the e-zine, and it is full with all our lore of Colossus, the world we'll be playing. It's got, Jesus, it's nearly 300 pages, and this will be our first year. We started in January, and the Dragonborn issue is out this month, so in a couple of weeks. So you'll get to learn about all the dragons that don't exist in Colossus.
No dragons in Colossus.
No dragons in Colossus.
That's why we play Taverns and Taverns 5e on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I am very proud of my dragon lore, so I'm looking forward to it. Leaping into the world. Yes, there's loads of subclasses and feats and races, all homebrew. It's so full of homebrew stuff. Right, so Sean, I let him back in, and he's not returned.
He doesn't want to come back. Also, if anybody wants to buy me Ferrero Rocher, just so I can have another one of these, that would be great. Thank you.
What?
Because I'm running out of space. We're only on day 15. And this is the second one. God damn it.
Well, you've only got, 9 days left to go.
I know, but I've got
That's
9
math,
days.
right?
I've got 9 days more dice to put in. Jesus. Don't have enough room.
Is that all just from the advent calendar?
Mostly. Some of these.
I was going to say, it didn't feel like that amount when I was bagging it
No,
up.
some of these are the bath bombs. These are definitely all the advent calendar ones.
Jesus wept.
But yeah, bath bombs and advent calendar.
Somebody might have got surprised with a custom order from the partner.
Yep.
That's what you get.
And then I've only eaten 2 out of the millions of blinking chocolates. Normally I use them for LARP, but there's no LARP this year for me to use them on.
Just munch them.
Saddest of times. Yeah, I'm running out of dice space, guys. I'm gonna have to find new alternative means of storing and displaying my dice. It's not enough room. I'm just gonna turn that entire back wall. We'll get rid of the Buster Sword. We'll just turn that entire back wall
you a minute.
into.
Would you like to see my literally every dice I own in the world?
I know the answer to this.
That is all the dice I own.
It offends me.
That's about the same as one jar that I have.
Yeah, she has 1 set of dice and an extra
It's
D20.
1 set plus 2. It's I got the mystery bag, Bardic Inspirations mystery bag. So it's 1 set plus a D30 plus Jeremiah's D20.
A D30?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a spare.
It's basically a ball.
Yeah.
It is essentially a ball. I have no idea when I will ever get to use it.
I don't understand how do you function with only 1 set of dice?
Because I've got,
Nobody has an answer.
I've got one of each, haven't I? So I've got all the ones that I need.
Yeah, but
And then
like,
Jeremiah has
what?
one.
But what if you get to like level 4? You can do like 2 D6 and stuff.
Yeah. What happens when you need to roll
I don't-
68? What happens when you roll 68?
Okay. First up, I'm a druid. That literally never, ever, ever happens. Secondly, I just roll 1.
Yes, it does. Go past daylight. You'll be read.
Oh, that's so
Oh, I can cast
time
daylight now.
consuming.
I found out after the fight with the vampire that I can prepare daylight as a spell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was looking at a spell sheet and went, "You got
Oh,
daylight."
It's cool. There was a lot of stuff that we should have, would have, could have in that fight. But we lived, and that's the important part.
What do I do if they're rolling badly? Accept my fate.
What
I do.
Wow.
It's sacrilege in this house, I'll have you
It
know.
is.
It is.
Any other questions not pertaining to how upsetting Jeannie's current dice situation is to my heart and soul?
So upsetting. So goddamn upsetting.
Is it Ginny or Genie?
Genie, like Aladdin, like
Oh,
lamp,
right,
and the
that's
name
cool.
you couldn't pronounce, Bo Genie in Rhapsody.
Bo Genie and
Guess who
Rhapsody.
that is?
All right, that was my question.
Yeah, there you go. I adopted a new child, by the way.
What?
All right.
So the viewers will have to look into Sapphire's thing to see the new child. I've had to research on that bit. I know when I'm almost
He
ready to jump back
is
in.
he a dino or a dragon?
He's a dino. His name is Pickles.
Are you guys alright if we have a break now?
Yeah, no, go for it.
Yeah, screw it.
Right,
I
so-
can go and get cornflake cake.
We're going to have a break now so I can sort the cameras out. And
Oh, there was
sort
just
the
a
stuff
really
out.
good question as well.
What is it? Would any of you retire
it-
your characters if they got to the right point in their journey? Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, I
If it got her a happy ending, yes.
Listen, Tyler.
I would rather a character's. You might have noticed we're all about stories. It's
Yeah.
a sort of recurring theme through how we play and the actual campaign. So yeah, if they came to a point where like it was a natural close for what they needed, questions answered, etc., then I think that's actually the nicest way to retire a character. I mean, it's giving them a closed ending as opposed to them dying.
Like, I love the way
Which is more
AD
likely, to be fair.
Yeah, I love the way AD wrote Orion out. Like, it was so sweet, and I was just like, yes, that is the best. That is the best solution. It's just really nice, and I was like, that's really good.
Tell them all of it, I'll deny it.
It's on the VOD. No can do.
I'll delete that mod after I'm famous.
After I'm
Very famous. Jesus.
When me and
We need
Bear
to
sort
be
of sat
tomorrow,
in a
it's alright.
Yeah. Right, let's break. We're
Let's
gonna
break.
take about 15 minutes, guys, and we'll be back to sort out Sapphire's camera and stuff.
Okie dokie.
Right, they can't hear you, but they can hear me. Right, stick around, folks. What you see now on the screen is people that have contributed to the channel since we started back in March in various ways. And there's one of me sat on the throne, so you know, why not? Enjoy the break. If you want to mingle amongst yourselves, please do. If you've got any other questions, feel free to throw them into the chat, and one of this lot will try and answer them during the break, or try and answer them when they're bored and staring at the back end of a horse's ass while they're traipsing across the copper forest. So feel free to do that. I'll let you lot decide. So, see you in a bit. Right, we're live. Turn the music off.
Yeah, Jane.
It's alright, you can't get DMCA'd for that one.
Right, we're back, and we've got a Sapphire, kids.
Hey.
Way.
Done a return.
So something happened before the break. I can't remember. They were leaving Lyric,
Yeah, poofing it
Yes, stealthy. Quietly.
stealthy like, and as Ruby was about to face plant a load of glass bottles and shout, "Hello, I'm here," the party, I don't know how far Sapphire got with this, noticed that those that were still in the fashion of the cultures of the world took position on certain places on the rooftops of the old archaic architecture and turned to stone. And then you all, I've run out of pop, left Lyric. Onto the road. The road goes west and east, and the vast stretching forest of Ravenholm before you, straight in front of you south.
Where I have to go. Which way is which? Okay, yeah, I got it.
Just head to tree line. We'll get into the forest.
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
That'll be some more fun. What was the bird said? Don't go to town, bad things happen in town. Check. Don't go in the woods, bad things happen in the woods. So, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
As
It's
you
the way forward.
As you enter the tree line, there is a lot of ambient noise from birds and creatures in the undergrowth, despite the gloom of the weather above you. It's not yet raining, but you are met with that familiar grey skies above. But the forest itself is very noisy. When you enter the tree line,
I'll make a nature check to see if it's a kind of just normal ambient noise that we've become unused to while we've been in town, or if this is a bit weird. Oh dear. Although my nature is 11.
11.
Yeah.
I mean, it's noisy, but it doesn't seem anything out of the ordinary. What do you do, kids?
Just moving as quickly as possible into the copper box, really.
How are you getting into the copper forest? You're currently in the forest.
I will summon my lance.
I was gonna say, Ari kind of looks pointedly at Andrea like,
summon my
come
lance.
on, lance sword.
And using the powers of the lance, I will attempt to breach away into the copper forest, similar in fashion to the way that I had seen Colin doing.
Give me a will save. Wisdom save.
Will save, wrong game. Wisdom saves.
But will, mind, and wisdom. It's that ridiculous.
Well, I think that's good, but whether or not you think that's good, that's 22.
You almost like almost like Dundee looking for water. You sort of use the lance as a horning point.
I was thinking of the city and I was like, water, what's looking for water? Oh, I'm just gonna take me out the back and shoot me.
Oh, I did it as well. It's like we've done a con there or something.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus. Right. That Jesus looking for water. You hold the lance out in front of you, you kind of follow it like a tuning fork, honing in on where you believe the veil to be the thinnest that you could pierce and enter. Well, as you step up to the veil and you put your hand out in front of you because, well, you're pretty sure that you're there is a freezing of time, at least for yourself, Andrea, where you see, it's like looking through a window into a house and everything's on fire. There is a green and purple raging fire going through the copper forest. You can see rows and skirmish fights going off all around you, and all these warriors are in the white tabards with the hooded wolf icon on their chest. And you see them ramping through the copper forest. You see creatures akin to yourselves, smaller creatures that you've met along the way, some vicious looking, but you know their souls to be less vicious, or those looking sweet and innocent, and you know deep down they're the darkest thing in the forest. They are fighting for their essences, they're fighting for their very existence, and from what you can see thus far, they are running and fleeing in all directions. Some are getting mowed down, others less so. You can't feel the heat, and as you bang on what is the veil, it is as though you were banging on a window and nobody can hear you. And you do not pass out, but you cannot pierce the veil.
So, upon realising that I can't pierce the veil, I'm just going to kind of like take a step back and sort of just glare at it very angrily. We have a problem, and it's a rather large one.
What's the issue?
I didn't do it.
And I just stare at Sapphire. Nobody accused you of doing.
Just getting ahead of it.
I can't pierce through the veil. And worse than that, what I could see on the other side, very briefly, did not look good. It seems the forces are strong in there. Everyone's fighting to survive. And I can't get us through.
If you can't do it with the white sword plant, then you're not going to have a chance to get through at all, even if you did want to try and help them.
I don't know if perhaps moving further along and trying somewhere else that is potentially a weak point is worth doing. Maybe just to try and see if it's just this point or if it's multiple points and we are locked out. If we're locked out, then I don't know how we're going to get back in.
But how could they? I don't understand. How could they lock us out? Have they? I thought the veil had been weakened. Surely that's.
I don't know, Kess. I don't know.
Give me
There's something.
Kess, give me a.
I don't say intelligence.
No, give me a wisdom check.
Okay, we can do that. That is. It's not bad. That is a 14.
When you were in the Grove of Anchors, and there was 3 of them, if you were to overlay that on a map, the section that the air elemental was in was the southwestern. So if you were to look at Ravenholm, the weakest part of the forest is the southwestern segment. If it was to be an overlay, but you know the Fell Realm is a very weird place.
Okay.
Spirits move through time.
Lots of things move through the veil, Ruby. The fact that we can't is unusual.
So, if I summoned a spirit and tried to send that through,
Worth a try if that's something you can do.
yep, let me just bring up. Blow in the level 4 slot first thing. This is going to go well.
Jesus. What is it? Summon spirit?
Summon elemental spirit.
Ooh. Unearthed Arcana.
You call forth an elemental spirit. It manifests in an occupied space that you can see. Blah blah blah. The corporeal form uses the elemental spirit stat block. When you cast a spell, choose an element. Blah blah blah. Blah. Creature is an ally.
What? Summon elemental spirit. Says it won't let me look at it that way. There we go. You gonna let me look at it? Not found. I hate you. Okay, so what are you summoning, Ruby?
Has anybody got a preference of element?
You've got a pretty eclectic mix currently standing right in front of you of just about someone who could speak for just about anything. So,
to be fair, you do pretty much have a fire, air, water.
Yeah.
It's up to you, Ruby.
Alright, given that we're in a forest, Ruby's go-to is going to be an earth spirit.
Okay.
So, I cast Summon Elemental Spirit.
As you cast your summon elemental spirit, the ground beneath your feet begins to bubble and boil as if the very soil itself is cooking. There's no heat coming off it around your feet. It just feels very massage-esque on the soles of your feet. And then out of it, how big is this creature? Is it small or large?
It's a medium.
Medium.
Mm-hmm.
out of the mud and soil, in a bit of a almost being pushed up and climbing out. You see a very stout, elemental made of earth. There are not many features. There is grass and moss on their head and around their face that gives them like a bit of a mossy eyebrow where you can see where their eyes may be, but there's no actual eyeballs or anything. And they're just sort of stood there, about 4.5 feet tall, like a little mini boulder, bright orange, with a 4 on his chest. It's probably not in the description. And it just looks at you and goes...
Glassy-eyed with the level of concentration, Ruby's, have you still got the veil breach open?
There's no veil breach.
There's no veil breach. Can't
do it.
Where can he try to go through? And you can see I was sort of like physically turning as I tried to split my concentration between keeping a spirit in existence and concentrate on talking to you as well.
Now, can he dig under it?
It doesn't.
No, there's only certain areas where it's a bit weaker. Like we came across another area before, but sometimes I've never known the lance not to go through, and that's going to be the only thing unless you get a hand on one of these weird daggers.
A couple of forest birds land on the earth elemental's shoulders, and a couple of squirrels rock around their feet.
If you want to try sending a spirit through the veil, we've got an hour.
Kess is just going to make a sort of gesture to Xander, like, this is all beyond my ken.
It's not exactly something I am fully able to understand either. It's an elemental creature. It's not fae. So I'm not sure.
Help point her in the right. I don't know. Our people are suffering on the other side of that, and there's nothing we can do to help.
If it was a fae creature, I could have potentially directed it towards the veil, and perhaps it would have been able to cross over itself. But I don't think elemental creatures can cross through the veil into the Feywilds.
Without
Similar.
being summoned there.
Yes.
Because it's worth a try. If you can point.
I'm just gonna in the area that I was trying to pierce. I'm just gonna say, this is the area that we want to breach through, but I can't get through. I don't know if this creature can.
Ruby does her best to explain, speaking Druidic, to the elemental creature that there is a veil to a fey plane that we want to get through. Can it sense the veil? Can it try to go through the veil?
It sort of steps forward, reaches out in the area that Xandria is trying to direct, and you can see it's large. It's only got like the three fingers.
Gravy time.
Thank you for the follow. Kip the dish pig. Brilliant. Puts out its large elemental hands, and you can see it meet resistance in the air in front of you, and it's sort of lean, but it doesn't go any further, and it just stands back next to you and shakes its head. My primordial is uncanny.
It is incredible.
Ruby's nothing if not polite. She asks the elemental if there is anything it would like to do while it is on this plane in the next 50 to 55 minutes.
It just picks up mud and starts putting it on its face, and then hovering its large digits out for the birds to sit on. It just seems content.
I'll take that. There's no.
It tried. It can't.
It's as stuck as we are. It's.
So we need a plan B. It doesn't look like we're getting through here.
It's.
My only other suggestion would have been for me to potentially summon one of the mischievous three, but even if they were able to get to the other side, I don't think they would have enough power to open up the veil. And then asking them to go to somebody who could open up might not be an option either, because if everyone is fighting on the other side, they're not going to have time to come and let us in.
I suppose the air people can't help us.
If the ground elements can't get through.
That's what I was thinking,
there's
yeah.
nothing.
I think our next best option is to try another point.
Walk along the tree line, like keep off the road. For sure, keep off the road. Walk on the tree line in the direction that we want to go. See if we can try again. Maybe like keep walking, maybe for the night's rest or something. Or if we see a point where it might be a bit thinner, if we see any kind of evidence of any scuffles or anything like that, like we've seen in the past, that might be where it's thinner.
I'm just concerned that if we can't get in, then the reason that Drea's seeing so much carnage on the other side is that our people can't get out either. And I wasn't aware that there was magics that could close the barrier entirely.
Just for clarity, the last fight you had in the Copper Forest, there was those very large pillars of blood that were being driven into the Copper Forest.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder of things past.
He still wouldn't understand the magic behind
That's fine.
So.
It's more for all of you to remember.
The longer we stand around and deliberate, the more time we're wasting getting in, so let's at least head off, see if we can find somewhere else.
As they start making their way sort of ahead.
Are you so when you say making your way ahead, are you heading south into the forest? Or what are you doing?
Probably following more the road, kind of like.
So you're still tree lining, are you?
Yeah, still tree lining.
Okay. But southeast.
Yeah.
Southeast. Yeah.
Kess isn't going to be leading this time because he's going to be having a quick look at the map. Does it look like on the map there is a way? Because obviously, every time that we've travelled so far, we've gone either by road or we've gone through the Copper Forest as opposed to through the Material Plane Forest. Does it look like if we just went sack it and just went hell for leather through the Material Plane Forest, we would, in theory, get there any quicker than taking the road? And what would you like me to roll to find that out?
Survival and nothing on the map would show that.
Sorry, all I had there was the word survival.
You cut out.
So yeah, roll a survival check, but nothing on the map will tell you a quicker route. It's as if the humans that supplied you the map didn't map the forest.
Oh, yeah, but it was more like is it like a on the road, and it's like a
right.
on like the
what I
forest.
will say is when Ruby said it's 3 weeks walk, she came straight through the forest. She didn't follow the road.
From the wall.
And from the wall, and she wasn't necessarily going in the most direct path. But she wasn't necessarily...
I'm just thinking with 2 Outlanders and a very good roll that I just had that I will be taking a picture of and sending into the chat 'cause it's nat 20.
Oh yeah.
We might have a little bit more luck of just absolutely nailing it through here.
I believe you. So what's your total score?
You said survival. That is a nat 20, so 23 total.
Cool. You are 100% convinced that going straight through the forest would take longer.
Oh, the suspense. Straight through the forest with what? You broke
Take longer.
Yeah.
It would take longer.
What is going on tonight? Jesus Christ. So yeah, it'd take longer to go straight through the forest. It is thick. It is not a smooth ground. The roads around the forest were deliberately, maintained.
I just don't like saying that the humans have done something correctly.
Also, we'd have to put up with Harry whining the whole time we trek through a forest.
He's fine.
Bad.
He's fine. He's been in worse situations at this point.
To be fair, the most whining done is Zandri about the rain.
Yeah. Well, we've got a magic stone for that now, so.
Yep. And to be fair, Zandri has a good reason to whine about the rain, health problems.
I mean, I don't deny it.
I'm just not going to say anything then. I'm going to tuck the map away and then kind of catch up with the group a little bit.
Right, hold on, there's 5 of us. Sapphire can move quicker if he wants to anyway. I can wild shape twice a day, so I could turn into a horse and be considerably quicker, which means one of you could ride, which would be considerably quicker, and I can cast Longstrider on somebody, so that person would probably be quicker. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 of us.
I can expeditious retreat once. Or
I can run away one whole time.
For 6 seconds.
If Sapphire, which, if it was somebody smaller, Sapphire could probably give that last person a piggyback, especially if his quickest form is the bear. So we could speed things up a bit from walking. No.
Relatively good plan, actually.
That's not bad. Yeah, I'm just checking how much I can do.
I've also got to just quick look up Longstrider and see how much that can actually do and for how long. Speed increases by 10 feet until the spell ends. Spell lasts 1 hour. And it's a 2nd level spell. So...
Oh, my speed went up by 5 when I leveled up. Sorry.
Oh, no.
No. You
It's
just go at like
first
12
level.
miles.
It's a fast level, but if I cast it using 2nd level spell slot, I can do an extra person. Which means 2 people speed up for an hour, or 1 person and I can cast it more times to...
You just let me know. I'm just going to chill
I
out.
think it's definitely worth.
Well, he just
possibly.
makes up the longest possible route for us. And where's one?
I don't think I need to make it up.
Should have got on the ruddy boat.
And just seeing
One
how long
direction.
I can hold wild shape for.
I mean, without using any key points, I can go 180 feet per 6 seconds.
Jesus.
My base speed is now 45.
So, Sapphire, if you run to the wall, get some horses,
The wall and
carry them
back.
back.
But
Yeah, so
seriously,
any magic shit you guys want to do, I can keep up.
My suggestion was going to be that we essentially cheese it to the next settlement, try and get an extra load-bearing mammal of action, and
some health
then
potions.
and well, we're not going to need health potions because we're going to see your lovely family, aren't we? So
I mean, they're tools.
we will all gloriously await your return, and shower us in health potions because you'll be so welcome back.
Can anyone help me out?
Also,
Here?
I don't think we have that
can't
much money.
actually find out how long wild shape lasts for. It just says I can do it twice per short rest.
I thought you could stay in it for a day.
Oh, okay.
I think it's basically until you get
I
out
think it
of
depends
it.
on your level.
I'm just having a thought in relation to the.
Sorry, you can stay in beast shape for a number of hours equal to half your druid level.
Oh, okay.
So 3.5 hours.
If you can do it twice, push. Well.
I'm just having a thought in relation to the fact that Luke just went, we're going to see your lovely family, and the wall and the thing that I saw in the Grove of Anchors, and now I'm
don't question it. Don't question it. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is gravy.
Because it could possibly be, if I'm thinking about this correctly, and what I saw in the Grove of Anchors, it could possibly be that actually going to the wall, fantastic idea, because that's where I saw the breach between the two places.
There's a breach right there. Just saying.
But I would not know. I was in the clouds.
You were in the clouds. That's true.
Because Ari also saw something similar, and he knows.
Yeah. We just go back to town and hire some horses.
If somebody wants to disguise themselves.
Oh yeah, for fugitives.
Sawdust, stop helping them.
Is that what Sawdust said?
Word for word.
Oh yeah. If only someone could disguise themselves, go back to town and hire some horses. I completely forgot that we would need to disguise ourselves.
I mean,
this is why I am not in charge of the group.
I think it's worth us heading on to the next
place.
stop.
Yes.
Where we're possibly a little less conspicuous, and then Ari maybe heading in and bartering as a horse.
Let's
if
do
you
that,
would
then.
be willing to oblige, obviously, of course.
So you're gonna tree line it to Eggsman.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
It's gonna take a couple of days to get there. A couple of nights out. Go on.
If we use my handy life hacks for gaining a bit of extra speed, how long will it take?
Probably take half a day off.
Yeah.
If that's what people want.
Just remember that at the end of the day, you've lost those spells.
Until I get a long rest.
Yep.
Yeah. So I do put that to
long striding people.
So I make the party aware that I can give us a boost, but I will have to rest.
We'll ensure it.
If we go, because I'm assuming it's still fairly early morning, given that we skipped out straight after breakfast, I can get us going for the next 7 hours. Then I'll have to rest for 8 hours to give us the next 7 hours of speedy time.
Makes sense.
So I release the air elemental.
The earth elemental.
Yes. Sorry.
And just start sinking back into the ground.
So, who's long striding? Who's getting a piggyback off Sapphire? And who am I giving a piggyback to?
I think I'm possibly the next fastest after Sapphire. So it's possibly the best if I take the long strider.
Okay. So I cast long stride on Kess.
You only need to be one anyway, to be first level. Because, me and Vendor can ride on you when
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is because it's a first level, when it wears off, I'll be able to cast it again, because I've got another first level slot.
How long does it last?
It lasts long strider.
Is that an hour?
An hour. Oh, sugar, yeah, so that's
yeah,
not...
because you're going to be a horse. Horses can't cast spells.
Yeah.
I don't think this plan's going to work.
Right, hold on.
I think that we're going to have...
If Sapphire turns into a bear, can he carry 2? And similarly, how large a horse...
As this is going to go down, I'm just going to put my hand out to Ari.
You are not riding my sister. What? Sorry, I heard something.
Gold. And as he says that, he is going to cast Alter Self.
Okay.
Gold. I'm going to go back and get us whatever I can.
Oh, sorry.
You've got the gold.
Okay. Comes over the pouch of gold.
And he's basically gonna, having not had the most time to think about it, he's kind of just palette swapped Ari a little bit and made the hair a bit shorter. So he's like, I look like a human man. My ears are round and my hair is brown. And he's just gonna sort of jog off back.
Okay, how much gold do you give them, Harry?
The pouch of gold.
How much is in the pouch, Ari?
Remember. Okay.
Ari, you're in charge of the party's finances, Ari.
Read the book.
I have nothing to do with the money.
God damn it. It's in mail the book somewhere, but we've had a lot of fights since then.
Well, while you're working that out,
You head back to Lyra.
I'm going to try and find somewhere that looks like they are not full of shit. Tell me.
You struggle. So going back
But
in...
you know that way, they're like, when you go in, like, the first places you pass are usually like here, have this jazzed up, and you're like, that's been plowing fields for ages, that is way past its best. Like,
So
looking for a used horse, but like not near
Looking for a second
Not
hand
from
shop.
a stables that's between a pawn shop and a bet fret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you go back into Lyric.
Yeah.
The atmosphere of the place has changed somewhat. The people that are no longer in the fashion are starting to crowd near the central area of the very, very large market area, and raised up on a bit of a... You don't remember a stage being there, but you see Emile stood on the stage, and she's addressing the people in front of her.
Oh.
Oh, look suspicious. Don't look
Suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
She's speaking to them in a language you do not recognise. In fact, give me an Arcana check.
She's speaking magic words. Kill her.
Burn
the witch.
Okay. And that was weirdly good for me, though.
Yeah, you said oh poop.
I mean, it's still an intelligence roll, so it takes it down to an 18, but it was still a 19.
Okay.
I speak Sylvan, Common, Elven, and Infernal, if you were...
It reminds you of Infernal, but it is a language you've never ever heard. And I don't mean it reminds you of Infernal because it's abyssal. It's just got an element of...
That sort of gutturalness to it,
Yeah,
as opposed to...
Yeah.
You're like...
It's not one or the other. You'd recognise the other, you just won't understand
Yeah.
it. But, yeah, there's a guttural presence to the language she's using. And those in the crowd that respond have the same guttural language of varying tones. There is indeed a stables there. There are a couple of stables right on the perimeter. You've noticed that the Reapers can't be seen anywhere. You can only assume that they are well on their way on the boat. What catches your eye before you head towards the stable is Elmer takes off her blonde golden ringlet wig. And as she then...
goblin!
And then she peels her face off, and she's like one of the witches from.
And she's Ulrich! No.
Fabulous Ulrich. And as she turns, you notice that the back of her head has a large, bulbous throat like a frog or a toad pumping out from the base of her neck. Two beady golden eyes, and the skin of whatever this creature is that is now in the reverse of Elmer has a very, very...
Spilled a Quirrell on it!
Professor Cruel.
Has a...
Oh, in the dungeon!
Vampire in the basement.
Dungeon!
When you finish.
Sorry. No, I'm
Sorry, we're getting
freaking out, but it's all okay.
It's all okay. It has a very, very grey skin, greasy grey skin.
It's not getting better. The visuals are just not getting better.
You're not the one in the town, my dude.
Then this particular thing, creature, whatever it is, from the back of her head, is now talking to the crowd. And they seem to be gearing them up. And then as the momentum goes and you're just at the back, kind of leaning out of the way, keeping yourself out of this thing. You notice that those that are no longer in their illusionary fashion, they too start pulling off their wigs or dropping their hoods, and you notice that they all have these bulbous, toad-like throats, varying tones to their skin of grey, blue, reds, greens, and they all then turn. So they're all now facing you from their human side, but their strange toad-like self is facing Elmer's toad-like self, and the faces that you're like staring at now are just blank and empty.
So they are staring specifically at.
Oh no, they've just
what?
No,
or
in
the direction because
they've just turned
varies how much I am clenching everything right now.
They've just turned around.
Okay, that
Two
I
faces
can
up.
deal with.
Yeah,
Faces
there's no
in front.
focus.
Actual eye contact.
You wouldn't be able to make
is-
eye contact. They're just empty.
Is a different thing entirely. I'm just gonna. Does the gentleman who is running this beautiful horse establishment? Does he have a toad on the back of his head?
Over at the stables, you see a young boy and a young girl playing with a what do you call it? A spinning top.
How much gold, Ari? Did we work that out?
200 gold.
200. How much is a horse?
Not that
Fairly
much.
expensive to buy a horse.
201.
201.
What you do is you rent the horse and just never bring it back. Wait, what?
Oh, that's naughty.
I have never.
So is
returned
having
horse
a
in
bloody
D&D.
frog army on the back of your head, but you don't see.
So you.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put down half of whatever bag is in here. Just going to drop it down on the thing. Can I see 2 horses?
You can indeed.
Are they? Do they look already tacked up, ready to go, or does
No,
it look
no.
like
There are 2 horses in a
That
stable.
would be
You
2
can see on
horses.
the shelves and racking that there are saddles and such like that would need applying to the horses. The 2 kids are kind of just staring at you. Like the young lass is whipping at the whipping top, but because she's staring at you, the top's finished and she's just hitting the floor.
Okay. 1 second. I think that this is.
Chain lightning! Alright, fucking hell.
1 second.
No witnesses.
I didn't think I would be
It's
using
your
this
fault.
this soon or in this way, but here we go. So, what he's going to do is, obviously now that he has split the gold, because he's not a complete bastard, he's going to tuck away half of it and sort of almost like crouch down beside them and do his best almost impression of that big smile that Ari does when he interacts with children. And I am going to cast Enthrall.
Oh my god. What saves that?
That is a wisdom save.
Also, we have 2 rerolls, by the way, now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruffworx.
Oh, we might need it.
The little boy
Um,
got a 5,
that's a fail.
and the little girl got a nat 20.
Fucking hell.
Little girl.
What's your DC? On the
It's not. It's not over a 20. That's for sure.
My own dice betrayed me.
Oh.
On a failed save, the target has disadvantage on perception checks. So basically, from what I can see, it doesn't seem like they become aware that I'm doing it. It's just that if they fall for it, that they don't have advantage on perception checks against me. Yeah, disadvantage on wisdom perception checks.
Creatures
to
you also
proceed.
see within range that you can hear to make a wisdom save for any creature that can't be charmed succeeds in the save throw automatically. If you or your companions are fighting a creature, it has advantage on the save. On a failed save, the target has disadvantage on perception checks made to perceive any creature other than you until the spell ends, or until the target can no longer hear you. So anyone around you, they'll have tell you there's disadvantage. Oh yeah, to perceive any creature other than you.
Yep.
So they'll have disadvantage on perception against your mates, but use just a flat roll.
All I need to do is get 2 horses out here. So he's gonna
just out of curiosity, Kessfeon, what have you achieved with that?
Shut up! I didn't read the full spell, and I'm off my head on painkillers. I'm just trying to get 2 ruddy horses out of this frog town, my dudes.
Fireball!
Leave me alone.
Okay.
I know this was not a good idea, but I am doing my best.
As you cast Enthrall and you weave your distracting string of words, the young girl is just staring at you like, what are you saying? And the little boy goes, oh, it sounds like a river flowing. And he's kind of just listening to your words. And she's like, what do you want, mister?
I'm here to collect the 2 horses that we put the payment down for yesterday. Here's the rest, and you'll hand over the little bag.
I'll be a deception check there, mister.
Sure.
What are you handing over? Are you handing over all the rest of our gold?
No, I'm handing over half of it.
Oh, fuck off. I got another that 20.
Piss off, I hadn't even rolled yet.
Same dice. Bardic inspiration.
You're an... Oh, I hate you. That's mean.
Who's in my jail?
It's my pink one as well. You know what I mean? Didn't even pay for it.
That's the last time I give you anything.
Yeah, don't give him anything ever again.
Yeah, like I can't beat a nat 20.
That's so dumb.
Your hope is
That would have been 17 plus 3, so dirty 20. I can't.
I don't know.
It is what it is.
Well, they're flat rolling, so unlucky.
Guess I'll go throw myself bodily into a swarm of toads.
I don't remember you coming yesterday, and now we're here all day, and all night, and all day, whatever time it was.
Oh, it was my sister who had come through.
Well, I don't believe you.
That's a shame. And he's just going to continue picking the stuff up off the wall and saddling up the horses.
I just got a question for you, mister. You really going to steal the horses?
I'm not stealing the horses.
I mean, they've not moved. The little boy's just like, whoa.
I'm gonna miss this.
Yeah, same.
Me too. I'm not stealing the horses. We placed down our payment yesterday, and I've given you the rest today. And you will continue tacking up the horses.
She will let you. She will continue whipping her whipping top. Okay.
And I'm going to get on one of the horses, and I am going to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Of course you are. So
Whatever rules you want me to do to see if I still get to play in session 31.
over to you four.
Oh.
Guess been gone a while.
You hear Kev scream in the distance.
Not yet.
Just need to get past
You
the border.
just
need to get past the border.
You just sat and waiting for Kess?
No, I was like, where is he? He went to get horses.
Yeah, it shouldn't really take this long to get a pair of horses unless he has run into trouble.
I am doing a bit of a concern. I do not like this.
Right.
Anyone else got disguise to go back and look for him?
Yeah.
No.
I can turn into like, well, I've got wild shape. I can turn into like a dog or something that won't draw too much attention. If we're going back, if it's a oh no, you have the message.
Here I know.
Okay.
Like that.
Maybe you could go a little bit of the way back.
I can go into town if needs be.
Well, not all the way into town, because if he's in trouble, then you'll be in trouble. But you can go nearly to town and message him and find out if he's in trouble. Because maybe he's just haggling. But maybe that time is right and it's a cult.
The guy's self and just ignores her and keeps walking.
Wow. Come on, man.
Sorry,
It was a cult.
as you keep walking, heading back towards Lyric. Kessfeon, you trot out with the horses. Are you just bolting for the out the town?
I am still internally singing. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
He is trying to just be like, I'm a human man. I have bought these
Nothing
two
to see here.
plain and steady. Don't look at me. Can't you see I am a human man?
I am
Being
John
ported with my round
Reelman
ears.
with the horses I have purchased.
You just hear the young girl shout to you, "Nice knowing you." And then her and the boy pick up the whipping top and walk into the stables under a roof. And you hear a flapping of wings. Roll initiative is what you're going to do.
Oh, right.
Oh, it keeps freezing.
But while I get ready to die, I'm just going to like dig my heels into the horse and try and essentially outrun it. Which isn't going to happen.
Oh no.
That's fine.
So what was your initiative?
You didn't need a fighter. It's 18.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, that's another nat 40 you managed to get on that roll, was it? God, I need to get me some of my dice.
On a D4, mate. On a D4.
On a D4 too? Special ones we make just for
I'm
you.
going to use the same dice.
No, you're not.
Oh man, why would you though?
Oh, it's not nat 20.
Oh, it's only a 19.
Have you actually got a D30 back there that you're using?
He's been rolling a D100 this whole time. He's just percentiling it.
I've only got 20's a low roll on a
Vex
D100.
and get her to bin those.
So,
Replace them in the night, get them weighted.
No, just replace it with my dice, it'll be fine.
Oh no, we don't even have to do that. Just get them and then Mel can like breathe on them.
That's what I'm saying, I'll just shit mine down to her, be like, just swap these over.
so
again.
as you look up, Kess.
Nope, not looking up.
All right, cool. Surprise attack.
Nope. Yep.
Oh, God.
Fuck it. If I'm
You
going
hear
down,
the flapping of wings. You know they're there. And at your periphery,
going down
you
swinging.
see
Yep.
the creatures
Yep.
that turn to stone on the rooftops
Love
take
that.
flight and
Cool.
come towards you as
Wow.
you see something akin to a stone gargoyle.
Love it.
You get to go first.
I don't know how escaping works on a horse, because I've never had to escape on a horse.
Old Spice advert right there.
Look at your fighter, now look at me. You want your other fighter. I'm on a horse. Yeah.
So it has a speed of 40 feet. So your movement...
I would have been quicker just fucking running myself.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. You... Mate, I'm just giving you the scene that you put yourself in.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
So the
It
speed of the
doesn't-
horse is 40 feet. You cannot add yours to it. If you on the
That's
horse,
fine.
you go 40 feet. They do
That's
have an
cool.
action, and you have a bonus action. So you
Yeah, I
can
do.
dash with it.
Yeah.
Anything you do on it will require a skill check first. So if you wanted to, shoot a bow or anything like that, I'd just up the DC or the AC rather than you do a skill check. So,
No worries.
what are you doing? Are you just dashing 80 feet?
I'm just getting out there. I'm just like, nope. Oh, eat.
Oh, that's a
Just-
shame. Give me a perception check.
Just like pushing this horse as fast as it'll go.
Cool. Perception check. There's something alright about the internet tonight or Twitch. Keeps freezing up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
struggling.
Full of
Wait, yeah.
totes.
Perception
is,
check
Yeah, Twitch has put up that it's having more trouble, so...
is that's +3, so that is 19.
19. So you notice that you're buggying it on this horse, like you've dug in. The one behind you. Oh, have you just took one? Are you trying to gallop whilst leading another horse?
I've lost the other horse. I'm like, fuck that horse.
Every horse for himself.
If that horse like, sorry, bud.
Fucking brilliant.
The goal would probably have paid for one more.
So you
Well, next time you can risk your life going back and fucking around with the toad people.
This is like peak D&D
Right,
is
hold
what
on,
this
hold
is.
on, hold on. I've got to ask.
There's no holding on.
He paid enough for one horse, right? But took two.
Look, I have
Now-
no
no,
idea
no, 'cause now
how
he's-
human money works. I gave the money, and
I'm asking AD, isn't that what happened? He paid for one and took two?
Nope. He put
Oh,
half the bag down, told him you were taking two, and tried to take two.
Right.
There was no,
Didn't even ask
no
pricing.
clarification or nothing. He's just like, there you go. I'm taking them two. You might as well have like flicked them 20 feet.
I don't
But by
know
the
where
way,
I got them.
I'm
though.
robbing your dad's shop.
Yep.
Oh my god.
You notice with your perception that these are pretty damn fast in the air, using their wings to dive bomb you. Akin to winged creatures back in the sands, and they're probably faster than the horse.
Yep.
So, as you use that, the first... Go on.
Yep, no, go for it.
The first gargoyle will catch up to you. As I fucked everything. Jesus Christ.
I don't know, I think I might have taken the biscuit for someone who sorts everything.
And it'll fly in and it'll try and bite and claw at you. So the first bite attack, fuck off, these dice are ridiculous, is a 23. And the second, and the claw attack, so it tries to bite you for 23 and it claws at you for a 10.
10 does not hit.
The bite, the teeth sink in and you take 3 points of piercing damage.
Okay, that could have been worse. That's all I'm taking from today. That
And
could have
other
been
guy.
worse.
The second one scoops in next to it, bites at you
Cool.
for a, I think that's a 19, give me a sec. 19.
No, that'll hit.
And its claws are a 8.
Nope.
So you take another 7 points of piercing damage.
Cool.
And the third one flies in front of the horse and turns to face you. Not directly in front of it, but just above it. It's back to your turn. 6 seconds have passed.
I am going to
You are
try and
80 feet.
maneuver round the gargoyle that's come through.
Give me a dex check.
Sure.
You can manoeuvre around it, no problem. If you're manoeuvring around it in the sense that you're going to go around it, or you're going to skim it to possibly have an attack of opportunity.
No, I'm going to try and not die. I know that seems surprising given how this is going. Is it just a straight dex check, or are you wanting
A dex check, yeah.
dex check? That is a dirty 20.
That's fine. So you skim round it as you lean to avoid any of the swipes that may or may not come at you. You just use your thighs and just cling to the saddle, and you're away around it.
Yeah.
You just 80 feet, just tanking it until you meet your lot.
Yep.
Cool. The first one will fly up to you, bite for a 6, and claw for a 22.
Yep, that hits.
Its claws rip into you for 8 points of slashing.
Cool.
The second one, 17,
Nope.
and its claws, 17.
Nope.
The third one that flew in front of the horse this time.
Give us a sec. I'm trying to do math. My brain is very slow tonight, AD. That is...
It's on me.
Cool. I've caught up.
Cool. And the third one catches up and slashes into the horse.
Oh.
You dick.
With an armour class of 10. And it gets a nat 20.
Did you just kill my fucking horse?
He's gone.
Did you just kill my fucking horse?
Oh my god.
It's stupid dice. I love them. That's
You just all of that and you just killed my fucking horse.
not yet. Not yet.
With a nat 20
That's
on my horse.
his teeth.
Death.
His teeth rip into the horse, and it does 7 points. You can make a note of this if you want. 7 points of piercing. Its claws. Oh no, 14 points. Anna, you don't double that, do you?
doesn't seem like a very good anti-theft device as far as an insurance company.
11. It does 11 points. 11 points.
What happened to your produce? Our defense.
So it does 11, and then its claws rip into it.
Killed it.
Ah, it's a 2.
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, shame.
The horses.
Oh, the salt.
Fucking
How
love
did
it.
the
I love
horse
it.
look? Apart from ribbons.
It looks like a Tesco lasagna.
The
Horse meat's expensive, shut your mouth.
as the teeth tear into its flank, and the gargoyle backs away from it, you see it tear about 1.5 foot length of flesh away from the horse's flank. It looks in a shocking state, and 12 seconds have passed.
We're going to be carrying the horse at this rate.
This horse is getting out and I have to fucking drag it.
I'm committed. It's
I
happening.
have,
Committed
and
to
like
the
I have to.
Ride or die.
This horse is getting out if it's getting
die.
on my back and I'm pulling it. This
your-
horse
it's
is
your-
getting
it's
past the wall.
It's your turn, Kess.
Abandon the horse.
No, this horse is leaving with me, so help me God.
God ain't helping you. You have been abandoned. You're just going to keep running?
Yep.
Cool. So you move your 80 feet.
Yep.
The first two fly into you, biting and clawing. First bite is a 10, and the claw is a 22.
Yep.
And you take, I think that's less on the claw. You take 6 points of slashing.
Cool.
The second one bites you, probably done 14.
Nope.
And its claw is a nat 20.
That hits.
How did you get another nat 20?
Is that-
Because he's a prick.
Is that 4 or 5?
Do you know why he's getting these nat 20s?
I know exactly
Because last
why.
week we got about 1 million nat 20s.
Yeah, but so
we did
did
say
he.
the karma would come back.
Exactly, this is the karma come back.
Oh.
So its bite, so that was the first attack, is 8 points of piercing. Could have been worse on that, sorry. And its claw attack is a 2. The third one will continue ripping at horse flesh.
Oh, fuck off. Leave my horse alone.
Ruby's going to be quite cross and quite sad.
It will hit the horse with a 50. And do... Oh, that was shit. 3 points. So you're up to 14 points on the horse. Its claws...
I don't even know how much health a horse has.
I do.
But it's... I'm sure you do. I'm sure you're working
Probably
through
about
it.
14, 15 points.
And its claws... Oh, you're lucky. 3 points of slashing. So we're up to 17 points of slashing. The horse's legs nearly give way. Give me a dex save to stay on it. It proper buckles as more flesh is torn out, like T-boned off rump steak tonight, kids.
That is 19.
You stay on the horse, but you can feel a very, very wet patch on your left leg.
Oh.
18 seconds have passed.
Blood or peas? Blood or peas?
Not helping, Sean. No.
So what are you doing, Kess? You've been galloping for 18 seconds.
I'm thinking of what I'm going to do for you in the next one shot next week, that's for sure.
I'm not playing. Fuck that. I'm out. So come on, what are you doing?
Howard.
Give me a perception check.
That is 18 on a perception check.
You probably don't because of your consumption of drugs, but you remember the banner poles on the way in, the flag poles on the way in. There were loads of them on the road. Yep. Ahead of you, there are 2 of them with a arcane glyph at the top.
Just made
a
me head
candle.
a candle.
They are about 160 feet away. So if you continue running, 2 rounds. Which will put you 400 feet away from town. Ish.
Wait, how? I'm trying. So
2 more rounds away if you full gallop. 4 more rounds if you don't.
So To get out of the town.
You're out of town, but they're chasing you down the road.
Okay. So we're out of town. Fuck it, I'm off the horse then. Slap it, let it run off, and I'll take on the things. I thought I was still in town. No. Hence I was like, how bloody big did Lyric get in the last...
Yeah. How big did it get? Guess why all of a sudden was it bigger in your mind?
I don't know. I was presuming that if I was still like getting chased by these things, that I was still in town. So I was like, Jesus Christ,
So
Lyric
can we see this happening then?
No.
Okay.
So
We'll find the horse later, what's left of it.
Oh, gosh,
Ari, I
yeah.
hope you've been saving up your spell slots.
So are you?
I'm getting off the horse.
So you jump off the horse.
I'm getting off the horse.
I'll let you use your bonus action for that.
Thank you.
So you have your movement and an action.
I'm just gonna shout at the gargoyle.
So you're going to turn and fight him?
Yeah.
Give me an Arcana check.
Made of stone, you will do nothing.
You need a 10.
I know I will, but hopefully I'll
You need a 10.
delay stuff long enough for you guys to actually show up.
Oh, we turned the other way.
Thanks, good stuff. There, you used to have a brother. That's
Right,
an
so
18.
so you're fully aware that they're made of
Yep.
stone.
Yep.
Right. Where's the map?
Only you had magic swords.
Only I have magic swords, but I don't.
On your 18, it's not magical swords you need to defeat them. It's unbreakable steel.
Cool. Don't have that. It's fine. I don't need swords if I don't have a life. Cool. Fight
So-
me.
God.
You're about an hour
Yep.
away from the edge of the forest.
Cool.
So you're going to try and fight these 3 gargoyles that you can't hurt for
Yep.
59 minutes, 42 seconds.
Wait, how did I get in then if we were an hour
You
away
walked.
from the edge of the forest?
Just short of an hour-ish. Why? You walked.
I didn't think we were that far away from the town.
It was late morning when you had your conversation in the forest. Ruby even said.
I think you're presuming that.
I'm not presuming nothing with you tonight. I'm just assuming you saw a noose and thought, fuck it, I've had enough.
Look, maybe. Cass is trying.
Kess is aware of an indeterminate time that it will be quite a long fight.
I thought we were closer to the forest than that, because I thought I had, and this is out of character me describing why I thought this, because I thought I had cast this disguised person before leaving the forest, which I can't have done because it only lasts for an hour, and if I was an hour away from the town...
It's an hour-ish, so you'd have had, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get in and get out.
Okay, cool. Right.
But Kess is aware that it's a long way. If you shouted, they wouldn't hear you.
Okay, cool. Fuck it, I'll just run after the horse that I've just got off of then.
Give me a medicine check.
It's dead in an
See,
alley.
if you say the horse is dead, AD, I'm literally never going to speak to you again.
Bleeding out. It's on the floor. It ain't moving.
I hate you all.
We love you.
I'm just going to walk into
What did we
you
get
and
up
never
to?
come back.
We got up to 17, didn't we? Damage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. So what's your medicine check?
My medicine check on the horse is a 17.
Cool. On a scale of 1 to 19, you reckon it's a 2.
Yeah. Cool.
So, do you still wish to leap on the horse?
No, I'm not leaping on the horse. I am going my separate way.
Alright, I'm with you. Alright, so you're just going to run. Are you going to try and use the horse as cover?
Head
No.
to the tree line.
No,
I
alright.
head for the tree line, but I'm not going to use the horse as cover.
Okay. So, how fast do you move?
I move at 40. I move literally at the same speed as this fucking horse. I would have been quicker running to the ivory wall.
Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion is
We have
plus
got-
2, so that's a 19.
I guess we
Cool.
have got 4 rerolls if needed.
Two will go for the horse, 1 will go for you. The first one that'll come dive bombing at you, bites you with a 9, claws you with a 12. Fucking. And the other 2 on the horse is dead. So the 2, it might not be dead. Kess can go check if he wants. It's up to Kess. But as the gargoyles dive bomb you, and you go off script again, and start bombing it for the tree line, the other two gargoyles rush into the horse, and you can hear it rather than see it, but it doesn't survive the attack. It's your turn.
I keep running towards the forest and copy, paste, repeat until I either die or I get into the forest, I guess.
As you go bombing it past the flagpoles with the arcane glyphs at the top of them, you hear a woo, and then as you just look over your shoulder to see what death's coming at you from the arcane glyphs, the three gargoyles fly into some sort of invisible force that just prevents them going past the arcane glyphs like a dog on a chain.
Is it a free action to cast the absolute ever-loving hell out of these three gargoyles and Sylvan from the other side? Because that's kind of... Kess, definitely not Luke. Definitely not Luke is feeling right now with regards to this situation.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, you quickly notice that they can't go beyond 400-ish feet. Are you walking back towards that one? I'll take that as a yeah. Some time passes and you see Harry coming towards you.
I'm going to take out the pouch of gold, throw it at him, and just keep walking. I look like shit, by the way, because I have gone from 53 health down to 22.
What in the fuck?
Don't even
Sapphire
fucking
says.
don't talk to me.
He hasn't seen Sapphire. Ari started walking, but we didn't.
Oh yeah, my bad. Ignore me.
So
Don't even
the
talk.
bag's
Pick up his
lighter.
gold.
The bag's lighter, Harry. Oh, it's frozen again.
Why? Okay. Catches up with us. Obviously picks up his 100 gold that he's got left, which is the party money right now. And catches up with him. What happened? You just went to get horses.
He's going to turn and look at you. And bearing in mind, he is covered like entirely down one trouser leg is just horse blood. He has like gouge marks out of him, slashes. Looks like possibly he's just had a hard horse ride and then got beaten up by a gargoyle, and is just going to look at you.
I'm gonna look at Kess and go.
He's not there yet.
But the horse won by the looks of it.
Yeah, we didn't. Did you follow Ari? Because
I followed Harry.
Oh, okay.
Cool, you see Kess.
So it looks like the horse won then.
Had two horses. And then
Looks
we
like the
had
horses
three
won then.
gargoyles. And then we had a town full of people who were actually weird frog things. Because that's apparently what happens now in Lyric.
It's the House
Now
of
we
Lilies,
have
man.
no horses. And yeah, and less gold. That too. And just keep walking.
Yeah.
I look at Harry and just go. I don't think he's okay.
No, I don't either.
I think he might have woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
How far away are Sapphire and I?
From these three,
Yeah.
if they're just all heading back to you, some time passes and they're back with you. Kess gets there first.
Because he's as fast as a fucking horse, apparently.
Ruby looks up from whatever it is she's doing, probably like being Snow White with the local woodland creatures, and just goes, I'll put a kettle on, shall I?
Nope, keep walking.
Is this a...
You don't want
Nope.
medicinal tea? Because it looks
Nope.
like you could do with a boost.
Nope.
I didn't prepare healing spirit this morning, I'm afraid, my love.
I don't care right now, Ruby.
I think this is a Christian walk thing. Sapphire turns, starts walking in the same direction as Kess.
I think it is best that we do indeed just walk.
So you begin to walk.
Harry will go up next to him, tap him on the shoulder and cast Cure Wounds on him at least, 'cause good lord. Oh my god. That was the worst trip to get a horse.
Edie, I can't believe you killed my fucking horse.
But you gave me the dice. You gave me the. You might as well put the sword in yourself.
You get 12 points back. Well,
Thank you, Ari.
it's my one spell slot that I had left for the day.
I mean, I could give you more back, but you refused to let me make a bed check on you.
Just walk. Just walk. Just walk
No.
towards the wall. No talking. Just silence.
What a
I flung
time.
myself in the water when I had the chance.
Oh, side quest.
We almost just straight started walking. Almost.
So, you start walking in a southeasterly direction. So I can't even look at you.
You can't look at me! You cannot look at me!
Look at his Ouija out, watch out.
Oh, I can't breathe.
That's Ouija's coming out.
So you, whew,
Must be so hard for you, Edie. I'm really sorry.
I don't think in the entirety of my D&D career I've ever rolled like 5 nat 20s. Yeah.
First time for her.
Oh, bardic inspiration.
The last time, Fables.
Yeah, the best dice in the world.
Their own dice against us.
So, heading on a southeasterly direction on foot, you spend the majority of the day in the tree line, avoiding the road. You do notice that there are still, as you keep following this path towards Expen, that there are still more of these flagpoles with the House of the Lilies banner blowing lovely in a breeze or a wind that you don't always feel. During your time in the forest area, you still hear the busyness of the forest, and it hasn't let up all day. The day is as Ruby would expect. The sky is the light it should be at this time as you go past lunch and into the early afternoon, by the sounds of it, without a word for between yourselves.
Has enough time passed that I could go for another nature check?
You can. What are you trying to discover?
Just again, the woods remain quite noisy. I'm just going to kind of assume that in the woods, Ruby kind of pays attention to what's going on around her in a way different than when she's in a town, because this is kind of her jam.
Okay.
So anything that's odd, I'll get anything that's a 15 for a nature check.
Cool. You, as you're pottering along, it's late afternoon now, say 3:30, coming up 4 o'clock-ish.
Mm-hmm.
The trees around you, you kind of seem satisfied for a moment that they are indeed where they're meant to be. But then you get this strange feeling of a door opening, and you turn, and you swear blind on Jeremiah's little soul that the trees do this, and sort of, not part, but like bend, and there is a blade that slices in the air in front of you and comes up.
Zandria?
As you all turn to face, on the shout of Zandria, as you all turn to face, two of the humans with the tabards on, with the hooded wolf on them, come spilling out of this cut in the veil, all blooded and torn. Screaming,
You're gonna look a lot better in a minute!
Screaming in agony, as following behind them is a very, very old satyr, covered in all sorts of claret and visceral, crimson all over their face, their furs matted, swinging this sharpened staff, and cleaving into these two knights of the hooded wolf as they just die in front of you both. Oh, you 5.
You killed my horse and you didn't even let me get hit in it then.
Well, you did. got to join in if you want a wasted time, just saying. And you see Old Oak stumble out of the veil onto his, as he finishes these two off, onto his knees, sort of one arm holding himself up. He's coughing blood up onto the floor with the old, got you, and just sort of crumples onto the floor and is shuffling over towards a tree to rest, his breathing heavy.
Ruby rushes over and makes a... Oh, she yeets a dice across the room, but then she makes a medicine check.
You see that his left eye is completely ruined, and a lot of healing magic would be needed to repair it, if at all.
Again, I'm just going to yeet dice everywhere they shouldn't go. For medicine, for what little I can do for the severity of his injuries, that is a 19.
He is...
So I'm at least trying to keep blood on the inside where the blood is supposed to be.
You can see that he is actually bleeding to death, and that when you've seen this before, they're usually unconscious and dying. So you would need to prevent them from dying. As you've done your 19, you manage to plug the wounds the best you can. You're tearing bits off your cloak and such, and off his. You're just grabbing bits that look useful off his robes, his forest robes. They are absolutely sodden with blood, but you managed to find some cleaner bits underneath, and you managed to plug where you think the most severe wounds are, and you stabilise him so he is no longer dying.
If you've got any more of that healing magic, now would be a good time, my love. This is not...
And you hear in Druidic, "Thank you, small one."
Harry kind of looks helplessly, tries to help as he can.
As you come rushing over, Harry, the aggression that you just saw Old Oak show towards the two knights, he sort of brings his staff up in a weakenly defensive, as if to protect himself and Ruby, this new person that's turned up and healed him. It's almost like he doesn't recognise you at the immediate. Then he sees, and there's a pause. Eagle. Where's the bloody rest of them?
Here, guys.
And he's sort of looking around. You see that his left eye is ruined, and his right eye is just trying to keep it open enough. They're dead, Harry. Are they dead? You get the feeling he's not asking about them. He's asking about the knights.
They're dead. You got them.
And he's sort of rolling against the tree and trying to prop himself up. He's in a shit state, but Ruby's done a remarkable job.
I walk up to Old Oak and I put my hand on his shoulder and sort of squeeze his shoulder and just a little shake.
Lancelot. You've got a darker hair than last time I saw you. And he sort of coughs out a bit of blood as he's laughing at his own joke.
Stop wasting your energy, old man.
Old. You've got me there. Where's the demon you had with you? And he's sort of trying to strain around, looking for a bright red anything.
Orion has left us. He has returned to deal with some unfinished business.
It's all gone. It's all gone wrong, Lancelot. Some of us can't get in. We can't get out.
I know. I'm semi-aware of the not getting in, not getting out problem. We couldn't get in. I tried to pierce through the veil.
Is it still open? And he's trying to look in the area where he came out of, and you do notice that there is a glimmer in the light, as if the invisible flap of a curtain would swish, and you can see that there is still an opening.
Harry goes for the bodies as well and tries to find
I was going to
dagger
say, try and find the dagger.
You give me an investigation check.
I'm at 19. It's a dirty 20.
Cool. So on the first one that came through, absolutely ruined features from battle with very old satire. They have their chainmail underneath. They've got no gold or anything like that. They are completely kitted for going to a fight and then leave that fight to return somewhere. There is no on the road about these two. Both have long swords that... In fact, both have long swords, you believe, until you check and you see no long sword. They're completely weaponless, but you swear on everything they ran out of that vale with 2 long swords in hand. And the one that came out first, in their hand, they do have a dagger. And the dagger is as simple as... So any dagger you would probably buy a very young hunter learning their craft, used for cutting small ropes and stuff like this, and little snares. It is a very simple wooden handled dagger, and the blade of it has got a bit of a rustic edge to the blade, but it is very simple.
Ari will see if he can like widen. Obviously, you said there's like a little bit kind of left.
So you pick the dagger up?
Yeah, I'll pick the dagger up.
Cool, give me a wisdom save.
Right, that's what I need.
Should have expected that, really.
Should have expected that, really, but we're gonna pass the heck out because that's an 8.
Oh no.
An 8?
Yep.
We've rerolls, rerolls.
You've got
You
4
have
rerolls.
Use
You've
the
got 4
reroll.
rerolls. I'm rerolling that.
Oh, I'm just rolling my sleeves up then, you fuckers.
I might need to use another reroll.
You've rolled enough sleeves.
Reroll.
Use a
Use whatever
different
fucking
dice.
rerolls you need. God damn.
Oh, that's better. That's a 15.
15?
Yeah.
Still pass up.
Oh, give me a sec,
Yeah,
give me a sec,
probably.
give me a sec.
Force to fall.
15, cool. Oh shit, I lost it. So you... Oh. Sorry, I'm starting out. So as you pick up the knife, there is a... it's like when almost you're assaulted by images, so you sort of start swinging out of them with your rapier and this newfound dagger. But the images you see are of a hooded, humanoid-esque person sat at a desk. This desk is enormous, like you've seen in your grandfather's quarters back in the day, that there's an extravagance to the things in there to denote rank or hierarchy, but it's not very functional. But this desk is enormous, and the wood, the sap that is bleeding out of the wood is like a honeyed blood all around the legs and stuff to the floor. And this hooded humanoid has a large red feather quill as they are writing on whatever it seems to be, a book, a parchment, a large scroll. There's something in front of them that they're writing. And you start hearing a from this creature before you, and then you peer over their shoulder. It's coming at you fast, and you're swinging out at it, and then it pauses for a brief moment, and this is the only time you've been able to speak Sylvan. It says final.
Speak Sylvan.
All right, cool. Yeah,
Ari speaks Sylvan.
Who was it that didn't speak Sylvan?
Everyone other than Ari and the siblings.
Oh, okay. So you know it straight
Ruby
away.
speaks Sylvan.
Whatever they are writing, it's the final chapter. Yep. Nothing bad happens to you other than that, and you now stare down at the blade in the forest. You lot saw Ari reacting quite aggressively towards nothing, but you do now have the dagger, Ari. Are you continuing with your plan?
Stares down at it and is just like, cool. Tries to slash.
So you go over where that glimmering thing is. Give me an attack roll. Just. You're pretty proficient with daggers.
Well, I rolled a 15.
Ah, yeah, you're
so-
fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
You sort of hone in on the glimmering flap of veil, Jesus, there's a sentence. And you start cutting, and you feel a resistance to the blade, but it does cut through it, like when you were first given your blade, and there are silk strips of silk that you test the swords on, and it goes through it like you were cutting through silk. It's a very, very sharp dagger. Give me a perception check.
Wait, was that perception?
For everyone,
Yeah.
sorry,
No,
you kind of...
just Harry. Perception check for Harry.
Sorry,
You cut out again, so.
It's annoying me now,
18
isn't it?
plus 6.
Oh yeah, cool.
20, whatever that is. Add up.
The
cool.
noise paper makes when it's burnt, amplify that, and that's what Harry hears as he's cutting through the veil. And you do indeed make an opening big enough, but it is slowly closing in every time you make a slash, as you've seen before. I mean, you've obviously got an item to do it, but every slash you make, you hear that amplified burning paper sound.
I think it's working, but we have to be quick.
I will sort of pick up Old Oak, like sort of, you know.
You know how big Old Oak is, and you know how big you are.
Ruby kind of gets under the other shoulder, surprisingly strong for somebody as small as she is.
So is Andrew. Between the pair of you, you hoist Old Oak. Ruby, this is the first time you've seen Old Oak. He is a very, very, very old satyr. You reckon in his prime would have stood close to 7 feet, so taller than Sapphire. But you are aware that satyr are big creatures. But in his current state, he's hunched and is very bent over and hunched. His age is very obvious, even through the blood and such. You are aware that he's a very, very old satyr, and he's sort of pottering along. It's bad in there. It's bad in there, that sword.
I know. But we need to go back through.
I'm with you. I'm with you till the end.
And hopefully the end is not near for you. Not yet.
It's more than a war. And a death knight. And whatever they are. And he sort of kicks some soil towards the two thingies. And the blooded hunter to me there. And he'll follow you through.
And through we go.
You go through the veil. And the feeling that you got all those months ago when you left Ebendorf straight to the rim of the forest and in, where you get that surreal step for Kessfeon and Xandria, it is vastly different in a alien way. You're not comfortable with it. This is not how you would enter your home. You can sense the intruder there, if that makes sense. Yeah. Harry, it feels akin to what it did before, where it put you out, but you spent enough time now that there's no need to resist this strange magic that's mixed in with the material and the fair realm of the Copper Forest. Sapphire, you don't feel as drowsy this time, but you do feel it trying to assail you, but you rinsed it off last time. Ruby, you don't feel a thing. You walk in, no fair magic assails you. You are very aware that you stepped through to a realm, and it reminds you of some of the stories that were swapped around the fires back home in the Highlands. It feels quite nice. I mean, you can all see before you that the copper is dimmer. It's not as fixed. The trees seem to be aged, as if they are at the end of autumn and there is a winter about to take hold. It's a very different place, despite you knowing it is the Fair Realm. The leaves, there's no longer that blizzard of leaves that was once there when you were here last time. There are less and less leaves falling around you. And it is quiet. There is blood all over the floor. There are a couple more corpses of these Knights of the Hooded Wolf. Their white tabards torn apart. There's clearly been a fight. Between the 5 of you, Ruby will probably spot it first, but then Kessfeon Survival instincts and such, you can see that Old Oak held his own against 4 or 5, and they obviously gave him a bit of a pasting, but he came out the other end of it. There are bodies of creatures that you all have heard of in stories, winged, fanged, beautiful, terrifying. They are fair creatures that did not survive the fight with these Knights of the Hooded Wolf. Ahead of you there are no paths. There is just a vastness of this forest. You do not see the green purpley fires that Xandria saw in her vision when she first touched the veil. It is just a... best description, it is a decaying forest. Old Oak, for a moment, seems to relax in Xandria and Ruby's arms as you feel his, like he's on the edge of passing out, but he rights himself before you two have to engage and keep him upright.
Which way? Do we go towards the fire? Do we go towards your home?
That's the lance, Lord. Still got the lance out, Xandria?
Yeah, still got the lance.
The runes on the lance, very much akin to when you first summon it and it goes boom. They are permanently lit at the moment.
Yep.
All around you, you hear whispers. You can't determine what the whispers are saying, but they are your whispers. You can hear the presence of whisper. And you kind of just look around. And slightly off to your right, in a direction you can only assume is deeper into the forest, is where you feel best to go. Why, you do not know. What it is aiming you towards, you do not know. And you are more than free-willed enough to not, if you so wish.
I look at the direction that I am feeling like a pull towards, but then I look at Old Oak. You need to go and rest, Old Oak. Can't have you dying on me. And if I take you with me, I feel you'll do something stupid.
You are definitely different to old Lancey. Well, I don't think I'll call you Lancey. Summer Breeze is a nice name.
Do you think you'll be able to make it back to the Jesuit's hut?
There is a... He says Jesuit under his breath. Only audible to you, as if whispered.
I need to find Toodles. She's important, you know, Summer Breeze. Real important.
I got that impression from somebody else, and I very just subtly glanced towards Ari's sword. Somebody else did call Toodles, so I have a feeling her story is about to take flight into a new chapter.
Only if we help her write it. Ulrich's coming hard and strong. There's not a lot of us left. Stories are ending all over the forest.
I know, I can see.
He sort of reaches his hand out and lets a leaf fall on his hand and it crumples.
Not many left. I'll go find Toodles. You do what you gotta do, Lancelot.
You be safe. Don't do anything reckless.
You know me. Never do. No more diplomatic meetings, though.
The time for diplomatic meetings is well and truly over. Alright, now we have to save what stories are left.
Do you know how many there were? Was this all of them? Are there more? How close would they be?
Ruby, there's...
Everywhere I know, but immediately.
Aldo looks at Ruby with his left eye still ruined, his right eye's just, and he opens it. There's a wide, it opens wide enough that he stares in loving and awe towards Ruby.
There's a few more, lassie. A few more. Stick with this lot. See 'em through. They're very pretty eyes. It's a good sign.
And he reaches up to your hair, and you see him tickle Jeremiah.
They look after each other. You're all big un.
Looking at the 6'6" lion.
He smiles and just kind of gives him a bit of a nod. I'll try.
Right. I need a rest. And I'll go find Toodles. Leave me here. I'll be alright.
Can you give me an
See you
insight
when we
check,
get back.
Andrea?
Yeah. Ooh, I think my insight is +2. Yeah, so that is a dirty 20.
Cool. He got a 12. He is not confident either way.
Yeah.
He's completely has no idea if he will be alright or not.
Yeah.
I just need time.
I'll see you when we return.
Aye. That you will, Lancelot.
And I'm going to head off in the direction that I felt the pull towards.
Under her breath, Ruby is sort of singing in Druidic, a blessing, nothing with any real magic behind, more a sort of courtesy prayer, but something.
He nods and there's a slight, like, crooked smile as he's trying not to open his lip too much.
Eagle, fly high. Tsunami, come here. He fears you, boy. I never seen Ulrich fear anything. He fears them blades. However hard you bit him last time you met, he's not forgot. You don't respect him. You take his throat out, you hear me?
Oh, don't you worry. That's the guarantee.
You bite him again. Now get out of my light. I want to work on my tan.
I sort of chuckle and take a step back.
Do you all leave?
If there are more, we should go.
Are you going to be okay? So far, there's quite enough for him not to hear.
Kess is just gonna kind of give him a. It's.
You ask Old Oak if he's going to be okay.
No, I
Oh,
asked
he
her.
says
Oh, right,
to
cool,
us
cool.
quietly,
Yeah.
is he going to be okay?
Yeah.
His path is his path.
Well, then I guess we have to forge ours, and he'll take his Naginata out. And which way?
Follow
Lancelot.
her.
I mean, Xandria has already started. walking,
Zadria's
so-
about
Oh, he'll follow then.
30-40 feet from you, lance in hand. As you all head deeper into the copper forest, under lead from Xandria, Summer Breeze, Lance Lord, Protector of Summer and Autumn, Collector of Titles. We'll call the session there. It's 10 to 11, and Twitch has been annoying me all night.
Yeah,
Yep.
So,
which has been an ass tonight.
you have returned to the copper forest eventually. You have... fuck's sake. You have left the town of Lyric, returned to the copper forest. You are now fully in the fair realm, hunting down your quarrel. And we will see... sorry. So, guys watching, guys and gals, etc. You lot watching, we will not be running Fables Among Titans now until the new year, which I believe is the 5th. But what we are doing next Tuesday is banging out a Christmas one-shot. More details of that will come, and we'll let you know who's DMing, who's playing, etc, etc. So stay tuned for that. The rest of this week will probably be the last sessions of our campaigns again till after Christmas. So tune in. Tomorrow there's no stream, but Thursday we've got Carbon 2185, which is our Cyberpunk 5e by Dragon Turtle Games. It's really cool if you're into Cyberpunk and you like the 5th edition rule set. Friday we've got more Rime of the Frost Maiden, Icewind Dale, the new campaign that came out not so long ago. It's really cool. Saturday we've got Pathfinder 2nd edition, which is set in the same world as this lot in Colossus, but is using the Pathfinder 2nd Ed rule system. That's really cool if you're into that sort of stuff. And then Dice of the Beholder will be there on Sunday running their D&D 5th Ed homebrew campaign. We've got a lot of stuff going on. So tune in if you want some geekery leading up to Christmas. Check out our sponsors and such. We're going to... Is Ashana still streaming? We're going to raid Ashana.
And tomorrow you can see Adi.
Yes. You can see me. You can see me tomorrow. UK Games Expo are going to be interviewing myself at noon-ish tomorrow on Twitch. If you go to twitch.tv/UK Games Expo, you'll find them. I'll also be hosting it on this channel if you want to watch. It'll go out on their VODs and social media and stuff, and I'll shout about it. Please come and give us some love. Throw some questions in the chat that they'll then throw at me. And they're basically going to be interviewing me about heavyweight gaming, where it's come from, where it's going, etc, etc. So it'll be really cool if we get some support throwing in. And 12 o'clock tomorrow. That'll be great. Now I'm going to raid Ashana. I will say thank you very much. We started in March. It's coming up Christmas. No one's going to deny that this year's been shite. But it's been really, 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 really humbling, overwhelming, cool, wholesome, pick a plethora of bloody words to see this community grow from us watching ourselves just to keep the numbers up to people actually joining in on our stories and coming along the way. Very big thank you to Jeannie who's just joined us, and hopefully we'll go into the new year and we'll get to see lots of Ruby stuff going on.
Oh no, you're stuck with me now.
So yeah, it's been really cool to see our little community grow and stuff, and it's led to these silly things like talking to UK Games Expo, getting guest players in from other communities and stuff. It's really, really cool. The geeky community is unbelievable. So yeah, so take care of yourselves. If you're going to join in on the other shows that we have on the channel, I'll see you then. If not, and you just stick around for the Tuesday ones, we'll see you Tuesday, and we'll see you in the new year and stuff. So Merry Christmas and all that. If you're into it, if you're not into it, well, send me your chocolate. So for now, say goodbye, players.
Goodbye, players.
Goodbye, players.
Players.
See you later, folks. Mama.